Do I need a home inspection when financing a loan? Well, great question, and I'm glad you asked. Honestly, I think you're probably asking a different question. I think you're probably asking the question, do I need a home inspection when I'm buying a home using a loan? Or do I need a home inspection if I'm getting a loan to buy a home? I think that's the question that you're asking, so we got you. If we haven't met before, my name is Gavin Sessions with Loans Made Simple, and if you're curious to learn about all things related to mortgage and home loan financing, you're in the right place. Subscribe to our channel. We post new content each week. All right, so here's the plain and simple short answer. Do you need to get a home inspection when you're buying a house with a loan? The very short answer is no, you're not required to get a home inspection really ever. But, and that's a big but, we would argue that you should always get a home inspection, and we've got some compelling reasons why. So for those of you who may not know what a home inspection is, we're gonna get you a brief explanation of that here, but our goal is not to recreate a video that we've already shot titled, "What is a home inspection?" So we think you should probably watch that video next, and we'll get you a link to that here once we're wrapped up. So the home inspection is conducted by a certified home inspector with the goal of providing the potential buyer a comprehensive report of the home's condition. So it's equivalent to having a mechanic check out a vehicle before you buy it. It's basically like peeling back the hood of the home to give you a thorough understanding of what you're buying. And inspections are relatively inexpensive, probably between $400 and $500. So honestly, not that expensive and definitely money well spent. So rather than take my word for it, let's share a few stories of some folks that greatly benefited by getting a home inspection. So our first two examples are from buyers who were under contract to purchase new construction. And you might be thinking to yourself, why would I need a home inspection if I'm buying a brand new home from a builder, especially one that comes with a 1-year warranty? Well, then trust us, and if not us, believe these stories. Home inspections are essential even if buying new construction. So like I mentioned, our first example here is a buyer who was under contract to purchase a new home directly from a builder. So the buyer ordered a home inspection, and that inspection revealed that the subs completely forgot to install insulation in the attic. Nothing was there. So how could this happen? It could have been laziness, it could have been oversight, it could have been just the result of somebody thought somebody else did something, but when in reality, it just never happened. So the local city or county inspector is required to do a head and shoulders inspection in the attic and in the crawl space. So he should have stuck his head up in the attic to see that the insulation wasn't there, but instead he likely took the word of the sub. Maybe he had a great relationship with the builder or the subs on site, and he said, "Hey, did you get this done?" And the sub's like, "Yeah, I got it done." So however it happened, it was missed. So the good news for the buyers is the inspection caught this and it was corrected before they bought the home. The buyers did have a 1-year home warranty with the builder, but if they didn't find reason to stick their head in the attic, then it's very likely the 1-year warranty would have expired, and eventually the buyers would have noticed either being super hot in the summer or cold in the winter, and then getting the attic insulated would have been their own expense. We've got another example here where a buyer opted to get a home inspection even though it was new construction. So the buyer opted for a home inspection, and it revealed that the plumbing drain in the crawl space was never correctly connected to the toilet. So the water in the toilet was turned on and the toilet was functional, and it was being used by the subs that were there later in the process of the home being completed. So you probably don't need a visual to understand what the home inspector found and smelled when they went down in the crawl space. Completely gross and awful. Now, the smell would have certainly alerted the buyers likely long before the 1-year home warranty expired, but it's so much better to have that problem remedied before they bought the house and moved in. Just want to pause the video for a quick moment and invite you to connect with us if you're ready to take the next step to get qualified and speak to a mortgage professional, a loan officer, or if you'd like to get connected to a great real estate agent, click the links below. All right, our next few examples are from existing construction. So the first one is a buyer that was under contract to purchase an older home. And this older home's foundation system was called post and piers. But long story short, the home's floor joists and the foundation of the home was supported by large posts that were sitting on either concrete footings or concrete piers. Now, the home inspection revealed that most of the posts and piers were in great shape, but you might be surprised. They actually found that one of the posts was sitting on a tree stump. In other words, a tree had been cut down at some point, and rather than dig the tree stump out and put in concrete in its place, the builder decided to just put a post in place and have it sit directly on top of the tree stump. You might be asking, how could this happen? And since it was an older home, it likely was built before there was inspections required from the city or the county. And it's also likely that the seller wasn't even aware that their home was sitting on a tree stump. Thanks to the inspection contingency, the buyers actually had the option of asking the sellers to correct this problem, or they had the opportunity to back out, terminate their contract, and get a refund of their earnest money. In this case, the buyers decided to terminate. They got a refund of their earnest money, and they went and found a different home to buy. Another example of an existing home where a buyer opted for an inspection. So the home was about 40 to 50 years old. The buyer was under contract to purchase this home, and the inspection revealed that the wiring and the panel were not up to current code. In other words, 40 or 50 years ago, materials and technology just were not what they are today. And left to the untrained eye, the buyer probably wouldn't have noticed there was any issue with the electrical at all. But the inspection contingency allowed the buyers to renegotiate with the sellers with the help of their agent. They got their wiring problem and panel problem fixed. The $500 inspection certainly was worth it in this case, as it absolutely saved them potentially thousands of dollars in the future. So our last story again is with an older home where the buyers were under contract to purchase this house and they opted for an inspection, and the inspection revealed the presence of radon gas. So radon is an odorless, invisible, but radioactive gas that can be released through rocks, soil, and water. And radon can get into homes through small cracks or holes and can build up inside of a home over a period of time. Over time, breathing in high levels of radon can lead to lung cancer. So using their inspection contingency, the buyers, with the help of their agent, renegotiated with the seller to alert them of the problem and ask them to correct the issue prior to closing. Had the sellers not agreed, the buyers could have walked away, terminated the contract, got a refund of their earnest money. But in this case, the sellers did agree, and they offered the buyers a credit to remedy the problem prior to closing. So those are just a few real-life stories of why an inspection is so important, but I'm sure we could find many more and go on and on and on, but let's get this wrapped up. So whether you're purchasing a home with cash or getting a loan, or whether it's new construction or existing home, you're never required to get an inspection, but from our opinion, it's an absolute must. It's an absolute non-negotiable, and it's absolutely worth the small expense. Really, you'd be silly not to get a home inspection. So as promised, here is a link to our video titled "What is a Home Inspection?" and we think you should watch that, as it'll give you a better explanation and get into the nitty-gritty details that we didn't really explain here today.